Yo guys, what's up? Welcome back to another video. So in today's video, we're going to be going ahead and listing the top 30 of the best characters available in the game and what their best CTP is to give them. So yeah, let's go ahead and get started on today's video. So the first best character in the game so far, which is none other than Null. Now, Null is a hybrid, but more so into PvP focused. However, just because he is PvP focused does not mean that he cannot do PvE content. He still can do them extremely great, and I do recommend him a lot. However, he is quite expensive for new players, so if you're a new player, do check out the guide for that, which is on my video. So, for Null, you're going to go ahead and either give him a Greed or a Conquest, since that is his best CTPs ever. So for Greed, it can be normal or mighty. However, for the Conquest, I do recommend Brilliant because that is what you're going to get the most out of. So yeah, it's either Greed or a Conquest. So yeah, that is the first character. The next character, which is Doctor Strange, he's really good right now. He's extremely great and I highly recommend him a lot. So he doesn't need much introduction since we all know how good he can be, and his best CTP is none other than a Rage. So yeah, give him a Rage and you've got a really good meta in your hand. On to the next character, which is Psylock, which I do not own. However, she is really good. However, one slight disadvantage about her newest uniform, it is a seasonal that will only come out every summer. So do keep that in mind. However, if you do have her already at tier 4 and everything, then her best CTP, she has two good CTPs, which is either Rage for Alliance Battle, Extreme and Legend, or Judgment for World Boss Legend. Because as you can see, she deals might damage, and you can give her a Judgment for World Boss Legend to perform greatly. However, if you want to do both, then I do recommend Rage, since she still can do World Boss Legend quite great with a Rage. So yeah, that is Rage for Alliance Battle or Judgment for World Boss Legends. On to the next character, which is Mr. Ghost Rider. So Ghost Rider is obviously a great character. However, another disadvantage he has is his uniform, which only comes out once every Halloween. So yeah, his best CTP is none other than a Judgment, and he can do Alliance Battle extremely great even with a Judgment. So yeah, I gave him Mighty and he really does extremely great. So yeah, that is Judgment for Ghost Rider. On to the next character, which is Gwenpool. Now, Gwenpool is a great character, and she's a free-to-play character. She's really great, and is mainly recommended by many players for many content creators for new players. So yeah, her best CTP is a Rage. However, I just gave her a Rage Obelisk by the time I get another Rage CTP to give her. However, a Rage CTP will do greatly for her. So yeah, that is for Gwenpool. Gwenpool does need a Rage. On to the next character, which is Wolverine. Now, as we all know, Wolverine with his newest uniform can do both PvP and PvE game modes. So if you want to focus him for PvE, then you can go ahead and give him a CTP of Energy, which he can do extremely great. However, if you want to focus him on PvP only, then you can go ahead and give him a Greed, which can be great for him for PvP. However, if you want to do both for PvE and PvP, I suggest you give him an Energy, since the difference between his Greed and Energy in PvP is so ever slightly, he still can do PvP content with Energy. So yeah, however, if you still have his X deaths of Wolverine and still just want PvP, then you should just give him a Greed, because Energy does not work for him. So yeah, on to the next character, which is Gambit. He did get a uniform recently, sorry, that's Gamora, Gambit. He did get this new uniform, which is extremely great. He didn't make the meta. So yeah, for Gambit, you're going to go ahead and give him a CTP of Rage, since he does extremely great with a Rage CTP. So yeah, that is for Gambit. On to the next character, which is Jean. Sorry, that's not Jean. Jean, as we all know, she is a top tier character and is used by many, and I'm certain that most of you watching have her at tier 4. So yeah, her best CTP is obviously a Rage. I do not have any CTP on her because I just want to get her to tier 3 or tier 4 before I can go ahead and give her anything. So yeah. However, she can still do PvP content very, very good. You can still see many people in timeline battle using her. So yeah, do keep that in mind. On to the next character, which is Venom, with his new Warster uniform. Now, Venom can do extremely great, and he's used by many as well. So yeah, his best CTP is a CTP of Rage. However, I gave him a proc obelisk since he performs better with a proc obelisk than that of a mini Rage. However, if you have a CTP of Rage, then you should give him a Rage CTP. So yeah, that is for Wolverine. That is for Venom. On to the next character, which is Gamora. Now, Gamora did get this new Wastelander uniform, which is, again, really good. I haven't used it personally, but I've seen people use it, and she does really, really well with it. As for the CTP that you should give her either a Rage or an Energy, since she does extremely good for both of them. So yeah, that's Rage or Energy. On to the next character, which is Captain Marvel. Captain Marvel is a good character. She's fun to play with and she's easy to play with. She's overall a great character for you to use. And as for the CTP that you should obviously give her just a Rage. So yeah, give her a Rage and you've got a great character on your hands. So yeah, that was all for the meta characters that are meta in every game mode possible. So yeah, we're going to be moving on to the World Boss Legend metas. Now, for World Boss Legend meta, the first character which we're going to say is Sharon. Now, Sharon has a small disadvantage with her. Again, her uniform is a seasonal that comes out on winter. However, if you did not get this, then her Poseidon armor still does really great. So yeah, if you have Arctic Warrior, that's much better. However, if you still have Poseidon armor, then it's not a big difference. So yeah, the Arctic Warrior is still the best. However, she still can do very greatly with the Poseidon armor. The best CTP for you to go ahead and give her is a CTP of Energy, as she is quite proc friendly. So yeah, make sure to go ahead and give her an Energy. On to the next character, which is Captain America. Now, I know many of you have Captain America on tier 2 already, since you will get him even as a new player. However, with his newest uniform, which is the What If Zombies, he can do World Boss Legend incredibly. So yeah, you can go ahead and get him with his newest uniform. And as for the CTP that you should give him a CTP of Energy. Now, don't mind what I give some characters, what type of obelisks. This will happen for quite many of them that I have, because when I started the game, I just kind of randomly slapped any obelisk on any character. So yeah, make sure to give them a CTP of Energy. So yeah, on to the next character, which is arguably the best character in my roster, which is Beta Ray Bill. Beta Ray Bill is honestly the best character that I have. He is really good, and I do highly recommend you use Beta Ray Bill if you have the materials for him. Now, you should obviously give him a CTP of energy. However, as you can see, I have a mighty CTP of energy on him. And he can do extremely good with all the game modes in PvE. He can also score quite high in Alliance Battle. So yeah, to keep that all in mind, Beta Rebel will need a CTP of energy. So yeah, on to the next character, which is Hela. Now, Hela, I personally have kind of forgotten and left her because I do not really need her. However, she is still a great dealer and a great support, given that you have her artifact. So yeah, she can still do World Boss Legend amazingly, and the CTP that you should go ahead and give her is either a Proc Obelisk or a CTP of Destruction. So yeah, a CTP of Destruction for Hela or a Proc Obelisk if you do not have the Destruction yet. So yeah, on to the next character, which is Thanos. Now, Thanos has two cases here, for his Thanos Wins uniform and his Wise Harvester. Now, for the Wise Harvester, it is a PvE uniform. So, and to get it, you need to get it on April Fools. So, when his uniform is available, then you can go ahead and give him energy if you're going to use him for PvE on the Wise Harvester. However, for PvP, if you're going to buy Thanos Wins, he's not meta in PvP anymore. However, if you have him maxed out, then you can go ahead and give him an authority. So yeah, that's energy for his PvE, and that's authority for his PvP. On to the next character, which is Cable. Now, I do not have Cable, but I know that many of you might already have him. For Cable, he has two CTPs, one which is Rage, and the other which is Energy. However, for Energy, he is really hard to use. So I do recommend you to give him a Rage and not an Energy, because he's quite hard to play with Energy. So give him a Rage if you do not know how to play him. However, give him an Energy only if you know that you can play him very good. So yeah, on to the next character, which is Miles Morales. Now, Miles, with his newest uniform, which is the Across the Spider-Verse, it is still meta, and it is extremely great. So you can go ahead, if you already have him at tier 4, which I'm guessing that many of you do, go ahead and get also his Across the Spider-Verse uniform. As for what CTP to give him, again, do not worry about the obelisk I gave him. However, the CTP that you should give him is a Judgment. Because if we can go ahead into his uniform, as you can see, he deals lightning damage. So yeah, giving him a Judgment will be amazing, and he will perform incredibly good. So yeah, on to the next character, which is Iron Man. Now, I can already guess that many of you will have Iron Man, and if you already have him at tier 3 or tier 4, then don't forget to get his model Null uniform. When you go ahead and get his model Null uniform, the CTP that you should give him is an energy or a destruction. So yeah, that is an energy or a destruction. Again, do not worry about what obelisk I gave him. He's not PvP at all, but I just slapped a random obelisk back when I did not know anything about the game. So yeah, that was for Iron Man. And now for the next character, the last character on our World Boss Legend meta, which is Rogue. Now, again, her disadvantage is that her winter ops only comes once every winter. She still is very great. So yeah, her best CTP is a Judgment or a Rage. So yeah, as you can see, if we go to her newest uniform, she deals mind, cold damage, lightning damage. She deals all sorts of elemental. So you can go ahead and give her a Judgment or a Rage if you want. So yeah, that's Judgment or Rage. That was all for the World Boss Legend meta. And now we're moving on to the Alliance Battle meta. Now, the first character for the Alliance Battle meta, it is none other than Luna Snow. Now, Luna Snow, she is a paywall, And if I'm not wrong, her uniform is also a seasonal, yes. Her uniform only comes every summer. So, yeah. For Luna, you can go ahead and just give her a rage, since she's meta in Alliance Battle, and this does not mean that she cannot do World Boss Legends. She still can. However, she's the best meta for Alliance Battle. So yeah, I rage for Luna Snow. On to the next character, which is Scarlet Witch. I do not have her, however, you can go ahead and get her from the World Boss Ultimate. However, you will need to play her 20 times or 4 days. So yeah, do keep that in mind. If you are a new player who still does not have World Boss Legend unlocked, but likes Alliance Battle a lot, then take advantage of this time and play the 4 days for Scarlet Witch. So yeah, once you go ahead and get her newest uniform, which is the Scarlet Witch, and her best CTP is a CTP of Rage. So yeah, that is all for Scarlet Witch. On to our next character, which is Hulk. Now Hulk with his Titan uniform, he is really good. I've used him before and he was great for World Boss Legend until now he is an Alliance Battle meta. So yeah, his best CTP is none other than a Rage or a Rage Obelisk. So yeah, you go ahead and give him a Rage CTP or a Rage Obelisk. On to the next character, which is Gladiator. Now, there is a small problem with Gladiator. So, as you can see, he is in the epic quest for Beta Rebel, which I forgot the name of, but the issue is you will need to pay 6,600 gems or $50 on top of his uniform, which costs 2,500 without the discount. So yeah, do keep that in mind, he is quite expensive. However, he still can do Alliance Battle extremely great, so yeah, do keep that in mind. And his best CTP is a CTP of Rage. So yeah, on to our next character, which is Dr. Octopus. As you can see, Dr. Octopus. Now, his newest uniform, which is the Ends of the Earth, it is really great for Alliance Battle, and his best CTP is a CTP of Rage. So yeah, that is Rage for Dr. Octopus. On to the next character, who also recently got a new uniform, which is Bullseye. Now, Bullseye is really great. He can still do World Boss Legend greatly, and obviously his best CTP is a CTP of Rage. So yeah, that's for Bullseye. On to our next character, which honestly is not recommended by many nowadays, which is Loki, because he's been replaced, so do keep that in mind. However, if you have him at tier 4 with the newest uniform, then you can go ahead and just upgrade him, since you wouldn't get that many new better characters for Alliance Battle better than his tags, and you already have him built, so I give him to waste. So yeah, his best CTP is a CTP of Rage. So yeah, that was all for Loki and our Alliance Battle meta. On to our last list of characters, which is PvP meta. Now, for the first character, it is none other than Sentry, and he does not need much of an introduction. We all know how good Sentry can be. So his best CTP is a CTP of Greed or a Brilliant Conquest. I've already said this in the last video. Sentry cannot get much benefit out of a Mighty Conquest or a normal Conquest. So you will need to give him a Brilliant Conquest or a CTP of Greed / Mighty Greed. So yeah, that's Greed or Brilliant Conquest. On to the next character, which is Carnage. So, hold on, sorry. So for Carnage, he is still a great meta. He's super good for PvP. However, if you saw my last video about the top 5 best PvP metas, I placed him on 5th rather than 3rd, when many people wanted him to be 3rd. Now, this was a preference choice. I wanted to just give him a top 5th because this was in my opinion. However, he's still very, very good. So don't get me wrong, he is very good. However, personally, for me, I prefer Silver Surfer. So yeah, do go ahead and get his Superior Carnage, and once you do, his best CTP is none other than a Refinement. So yeah, that was for Carnage. On to our last PvP character, which is none other than Silver Surfer. He again does not need much of an introduction, and his best CTP is a Mighty Conquest or a Refinement. So do remember that Silver Surfer is the only exception that I can think of that does not need a Brilliant Conquest to get the most out of the CTP. So yeah, he will either need a Mighty Conquest or a Refinement. So that was all for today's video. If you did find this informative or liked it or anything like that, please do go ahead and subscribe and like the video. And if you have any questions, suggestions for a new video or anything like that, let me know in the comments or join our Discord server in the description below. So again, thank you all for watching, and I'll see you all in the next video.